Greetings, weary traveler, come, warm yourself by the fire, and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, and of course, Tales of Tamriel. I'm your host, Arkhaniir, and we are back with an all-new episode, just short of episode 250, which is next week. I still don't know what we will do about that. But joining me, before everything begins, the man, the myth, the legend himself, LotusOfDoom. How's it going, Lotus?
I'm going pretty well. Hopefully I can control my allergies so that I won't be giving you a bunch of editing or everyone else lots of horrible sniffs going into the microphone.
If it happens, I will figure it out as usual. I'll butcher my way through the audio and we'll clear it.
Nord your way right through.
Yeah. Also joining us, the joy of the show, the giggle queen herself, Pixie. How's it going, Pixie?
Going great.
That's also good to hear. Now, before we begin, we actually do have a new iTunes review. This is from Carnage7. Glad you are here. I love the Elder Scrolls universe and I love listening to podcasts. Found you guys about 2 months ago, shortly after finally starting to play ESO. I really enjoyed the banter and getting to know your personalities. I hope you guys keep it going. Thanks again. Well, thanks so much, Carnage. This is a 5-star review, so those really do help us. And we are glad you are enjoying the show.
Yeah.
And our banter.
Glad to hear it.
Oh, yeah. I actually don't know. So I actually don't know if this, if Carnage is at the beginning of Tales, or up to date on Tales. So he may not be talking about
where
us.
in line did he start? Yeah.
So the banter he mentioned may as well not be us.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could not be us, or it could be us. Who knows?
Anything is possible.
I actually got asked that question the other day by somebody who had just found the community, just found Tales. They're like, "Oh, where should we start?" I was like, "Well, we have 200 and something episodes, so I recommend the newer stuff, but also go back and listen to some of the older stuff too because it's all fun."
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I always say listen to a couple of the newer ones so that you have an idea of what we are currently, and then if you enjoy it, go back and see where we basically learned what we were doing, because that's where we got all this from. It was just all listeners of the previous becoming what it is now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, go back to the original parts where we don't even exist at that.
Yeah, exactly. When we periodically get shoutouts because we're the listeners providing reviews, or there was one episode where I think there were alerts still on. And I donated bits, and it blew Egg's eardrums out because it was set way too high. Because he was like, "Oh my god!" He was like, "Thank you, but Jesus!" Oops.
I remember the first time I heard my name mentioned on the show was whenever Ark had found my channel, and he was like, "I love the channel because they called themselves the Cult of No Guar because Taro and the Von James Science were in chat." And I think that's how I got my spot on the show, to be honest with you.
Before you,
and
I was tricked by the no cult of Guar and overlooked the fact that you were actually Aldmeri Dominion.
Distracted by one and blindsided by the other.
You found out first time I guessed it.
All right, so. Let's see, do we have these? I prepared the show, sort of prepared the show, but I forgot to update the show notes, so now I'm looking at the last week's.
Perfect. Yeah, I was like,
stuff.
some of these seem old.
We are having episode 248 again, and then 248 again. We are never having that 250 episode.
Yeah, we're afraid of 250, so what does that make us, a quarter of a millennium old? Is that?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, yeah, a century's 100, so it'd be a quarter of a millennium?
Yeah. I mean, we don't put out a show every once a year, though, so there is that. But
a millennium in episode numbers, not a millennium in.
Oops, we are immortal. You blew our cover, Lotus.
All right, I feel like I've been squandering my immortality.
Use it just to play Elder Scrolls Online more, apparently.
Yep, exactly. Oh man, think of all the time. I can't give up sleeping entirely because apparently I'll never die. So I'll be delirious, but it's still alive.
It'll be fine. I mean,
be
we are
fine.
sort of delirious at the just normally.
Not
as well,
wrong.
so-
Yeah, not
so
incorrect whatsoever.
It won't be too different a problem. Now, Tales. Dog says episode 248.2.
Point two.
This is turning into a patch notes now. 0.2.
Yeah. Oh no.
0.27 A0B Alpha
Oh crap.
PTS.
Are we doing global cooldowns on our PvE portion of the show?
No, we are gonna have a PTS show from now on. So every show will have a test show that will go out
Perfect.
to everyone. And if people don't like it, we are gonna change it and do another roll-off test show.
Excellent.
And the actual episode itself will come out after like 27.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can release one
iterations?
episode a season.
Exactly, yeah, that'll work out.
All right,
I mean,
but it'll be the most refined episode of them all.
isn't the pre-show kind of like the PTS show almost sometimes?
I guess
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of. It's usually when we realize all the things we're currently forgetting to do or doing wrong, or
Things that are broken.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So
So to
when
be
we
able to
launch
do
the
this
final
though,
show, it'll
both
still
of
be
you will,
broken.
both of you will have to quit your jobs as well. And from now on, we're gonna be live 24/7 with.
Yeah, we'll just
Tales. That's
podcast 24/7.
it. Yeah, episode 249 will be just forever. It will never end. Hence, we will never have to do the 250. That's it. Anyway,
All
all
right.
right, Tales time. It's
I'm down.
Tales time.
I'm down for all of
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You can just watch me sleep.
We derailed enough. Like that was what? Let's see. 10 minutes of the. It's so. We actually didn't derail that much. Okay, back
I
to
was
it.
gonna-
So episode 240.
Derailing about how we didn't derail enough.
There's gonna be a mob outside. Okay, so Pixie, you also mentioned that you didn't play too much. So
I
I'm
played
gonna
a whole bunch.
a whole bunch.
I said I played, but not a whole bunch.
Oh, okay. But that's exactly what I said. I said you didn't
Yeah,
play too
I-
much.
Just reiterating
I
the
need
same
more
statement,
coffee.
yeah.
Let's. My coffee cup is almost empty, and
Yeah, that's
apparently
because you spilled it.
I spilled half of it on my feet. So
Perfect.
I was walking to my office with this, and also like my phone like tucked under my arm, and it was just too much. And when I went to open the door, I just like dumped some of the coffee onto my foot.
Great.
Didn't hit the carpet though; it all hit my foot.
Perfect.
Save the
use-
carpet, kick the coffee.
My skin will heal. This carpet will need to be replaced. I can't deal with that.
I mean, you saved what, like 1.5 minutes tops by trying to carry all of that at once, and then lost 10 minutes trying to clean things up.
And recovering from wounds.
My boyfriend saw me trying to carry everything. He's like, just put something down. I'm like, no, I will get this.
To be fair, I was going to say, the chance that you saved 30 seconds, though, I mean, that's really where it's at.
Well, I saw the call pop up on my phone. I'm like, oh no, I apparently forgot what time it was. And I was just like rushing it.
Okay, Lotus, I'm gonna let you go first because I know you've been suffering in ESO, and that's always fun. So
Yeah, I have. So almost the entirety of my gameplay has been over the last like couple of days because I ended up working a ton this week. And by the time I was done work, I was pretty burnt out, so I didn't really play too much. So what day was it? Maybe Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. So we've been trying to organize to run some of the new dungeons so we can get the Challenger big 3 there, speedrun, no death, hard modes. But unfortunately, because of my scheduling and everybody else in the group scheduling, we have not been able to really group up. So we haven't gotten together as a team to try to tackle either of these. However, when I was on, a couple good players in my guild were just like, hey, let's see if we could just get in some practice on Thorn. So we went through and we nuked off the speed run. That is a very easy speed run if you have the damage for it. It's not too bad. And we got the hard mode down to 12% with a group that it was the first time we had grouped together. Now granted, it was not just pugs of like, it's my first day. The people were good. Like they're from guild. One of them's like one of our guild healers. No, actually, Kiz. Also to a note in Kiz in chat, did we run 3 DPS? No, we had 2 DPS and a healer actually. Granted, she's one of our 2 ultra trials healers who.
I thought you were gonna say. We had 2 DPS and 1 healer. Granted, she was our DPS.
Granted, she's a DPS, but I mean, she does. So to give you a gauge, actually, have either of you tried Frostvault hard mode yet?
I've tried Frostvault non-hard mode.
Okay, do you guys know how to push the not Centurions, the Dwemer spheres off the level?
I've heard of it, but I haven't.
Okay. So to give you a gauge, our healer was doing that damage dealer mechanic at the same time. Like, so she's very good at multitasking as well as doing respectable damage. But yeah, she's just very, very efficient at buffing and everything like that. So like we had.
So granted, she was a DPS. Okay, got it.
Yeah, well, she can also, she has the potential to heal through the, what do you call it? Same as our other healer, Celeste. She has the potential to heal through that mega debuff, what do you call it, for Moongrave Fane, that 40,000 inverse shield. Yeah, she can like nuke that off too. So like she's just all around another very good player. And then we had the only person of our normal team is one of our DPSs, Neo. He was with us. And then another person who I had just met, who was also very good. So, it wasn't just a like, hey, let's go into zone chat and pick up some people for Vet Castle Thorn hard mode. Like everybody knew what they were doing. Even if we hadn't really played together too much. However, like I said, we got down to 12%. And I think we had another run where we got to 14%. Like we had a couple polls in, I think we were at it for maybe an hour and a half. We had a couple polls where we got real close. But it's that final bit of that hard mode when, how can I explain this? So everything kind of hits at the same time, which is fine. But when she stops at the end, it basically just starts hitting me, which is fine. Like that's great for everybody else, except that those blood geysers that are popping up and kind of stun you and do some a degree of damage, but the slowdown effect is brutal. There's so many of them at that point. The safety circle is nothing but them. So it's like, well, we can't go out of bounds because we'll be eaten by the bat swarm. And we can't be in the area that's safe because it's nothing but CC things. So that was our problem. We would just lose somebody. And then once we lost one person, it's like, okay, well, now the ads are starting to overwhelm us at the same time of trying to execute. So we just got to kind of iron out exactly, well, I mean, I guess as my main team, unless we go back as this group, we got close with this group, so it seems very manageable. I like how that hard mode, even if you lose people, has a lot of room to save each other, or you can save the run. I think that's pretty cool. But so made some decent progress on that. I would like to group back up and do that so that once we finish those 3 off in there, I can move on to this nightmare mode that I keep hearing about in Stone Garden, where everything is hell.
I want to
watch that so bad.
So in Castle Thorn, the AoEs, do they drop under the dead ads? Right? Do I remember correctly?
So
there's a bunch of like small zombie-like ads that run towards.
There are small zombie-like ads, but as far as we could tell, I think the blood geyser bursts, they seem to just be like random points popping up on the map from what we could tell. I mean, I don't have an add-on to tell me this is causing this, because to be fair, they rarely kill you. They don't do that much damage. They just give you this slow effect, which if they keep popping up in your direct line of walking, it's like, okay, you're CC'd. Okay, you broke out of that CC? Well, you're CC'd again. Okay, you broke out of that CC? Okay, you're CC'd again. It's like, okay, seriously, I can't use my entire stamina bar.
Yeah, I don't remember running into that sort of a problem. Maybe it's like at the last 20, like, was it happening all the time or towards the end?
The last totally... So there's only a couple of them throughout the whole end of the fight, or throughout the entirety of the fight. It's that last little chunk where you're fighting her in the dark, zone at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the only time it's a problem, where it's just like, oh crap, we've got to figure out where to get our feet.
Okay. Because I was
and
gonna
apparently
say,
the longer you take, the more keep popping up. Okay.
So I was gonna say that I didn't run into that problem, but on hard mode we didn't get it down to like last kite phase. So maybe that was it. Also, was this when you were trying to aim your blood-shots?
No, I am now aware that you can just grab it and go. And if anything, I almost don't want to say this because it'll give Finn ideas, but I went from making that mechanic seem too difficult to that mechanic is too easy to exist. It should not even be a thing. Because I just straight run out into the darkness with no regard for myself. You become invincible while you're grabbing the item. So if you have everything taunted, you can just pull them off your teammates by running out into the mist. You do that, you don't take any damage, and you essentially just slowly recover your magic and stamina back while you do it, and you dodge roll back in once, and everything has to re-chase back at you. But you can talon them at that point, so then they're out of the way still. So it went from me thinking, oh my god, this is so complicated to try to throw the thing and blah blah blah, to why are you making me do this 4 times and wasting my time? But that's not, luckily I don't have to throw it where I thought I did. But yeah, so I don't know, I like that hard mode. We just got to figure out exactly where to put our feet for the finale, so to speak. But yeah, that was just one day. I've played a few Battlegrounds. The only reason I figured I would mention them after last week, I was all pumped that I got like in rank 7th on the leaderboards. Nobody plays Capture the Relic, or more specifically Chaos Ball. Those matches take forever to find. Nobody knows what they're doing in them, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. I started doing the Greymoor storyline, and the queues to get into them were so long. I was like, well, I guess I'll just put a queue up, and then I'll start some of the storylines. And I could complete full sections of the story before my queue would pop. One of my last queues, right before I joined you guys, was 32 minutes to find a game.
Oof.
And I'm like, good.
Well, here's another thing, though. Okay, so because of the Imperial City event right now, a lot of the PvP people are actually in Imperial City as well. So there isn't, in general, as much Battlegrounds going on. But yeah, most of the Battlegrounds I join are, in fact, Deathmatch. Crazy King, Deathmatch, Domination is the ones I get in. I haven't gotten Capture the Relic in the last couple of weeks, I think. And Chaos Ball, it happens every now and then. And I like it when it happens if I'm on my Warden, because then I can just grab the ball and carry it to the finish.
Correct. And that I'm just trying to specifically polish off like Battlegrounds achievements I don't have. So I'm like, I have like a bunch in Chaos Ball because I never play Chaos Ball. The problem isn't so much getting the things, it's getting the games to actually even try to do what I need to.
Yeah.
And Capture the Relic is just confusing. The three teams thing is interesting, but I don't know. Capture the Relic really kind of shows it's got an issue.
Yeah, three-way battle causes there to be no strategy, basically. Because if it was like 6 versus 6, 2 teams instead of 4 versus 4,
right,
you could actually strategize. But the problem with 3-way combat is that if all 3 teams don't know what they are doing, it doesn't matter if you apply any strategy or not, because one of the teams will fixate on you.
Yes,
and they will just keep you busy forever, and the other team will just farm them.
Correct.
Like for Capture the Relic, for example, you will have green team constantly throwing themselves at you, not defending their flags, and the purple will team just like run back and forth 5 times, and they will win the game, and you'll be there like, Same with Chaos Ball. Like, you will have this one team attacking you while the other team has the Chaos Ball.
Has the ball and they're racking up points.
It's like,
what are you doing?
And then you have a score of 0-0-500.
Yes,
which,
correct.
I mean, you still get your daily completed by doing that, because it counts both teams the second place and gives both of them thing. But, like, these things make Battleground, in my opinion, a lot less enjoyable compared to if it was 6 versus 6 battle.
Right. It feels like a team-based free-for-all every moment.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because, I mean, there'll be some games, I mean, I had mentioned before, and I actually have so many, like, hat tricks from people just literally not understanding that Capture the Relic involves capturing a relic, kind of like a frag. A flag. I suppose you could frag the other team while you're capturing their flag. But so when you go in and just the other 2 teams are just murdering each other, I'm like, cool, there's literally nobody here. And I'm just like, grab, go, grab, go, grab, go. I just keep dropping it off. And they're busy all murdering each other. And my game earlier, my teammates literally didn't even seem to know what to do. But one of them just goes, okay, we got this, I guess. So they just ran into the fray to make everybody just be distracted, and I just captured all 5 flags. I was like, okay, cool, bye, everybody. We're all done here. But yeah, so that's just, I don't know. Battleground, I know people wanted Battlegrounds, and they're fine. They're not really super my thing, but there seems like there needs to be more, especially since we can't go in as groups.
Yeah. Like if you could go in as groups, it wouldn't be that chaotic. At least you would be able, even if you had Team X just hammering on you, keeping both themselves and you from getting the objective, you could work around that if you were in voice comms and like could actually strategize. Like I could, for example, if I was able to play with a group using my PvP Warden, which has a lot of crowd control and is pretty much like unkillable unless 5-6 people is hammering on it, I could just keep an entire team busy. Like, I would be like, all right, I'm gonna keep Team Green busy. You guys just fight purple and do whatever, and the green I will just keep busy in their base or whatever, because people cannot resist fighting when they see someone solo. It's just they can't.
Yes. and most people are much more, I mean, it's like this in any game. I mean, it's not ESO specifically, but it's like, ooh, I could get that kill. It doesn't matter if I'm going to sacrifice the win. I get that kill. It's like, oh my lord. So, it is what it is, but it was just, I was messing around with it, and it was just kind of like, woof. In between the queues, when I get matches, I'm like, this is a total cluster. Like, what is happening in here? But the only benefit is I at least am not farming a shield, so I've don't have to worry about that. Anyway, now that that's been brought up on the show, the other thing that I did, which is amounted for the majority of my gameplay, is scamp hunting, because I decided to lean into the event itself. I hadn't really been doing anything with the event. I'm a terrible community member, because people were like, oh man, I want, event tickets and stuff like that. No, I've done one white gold tower. That's the extent of my involvement. I don't do it's just, I generally haven't really minded. And there's nothing I specifically wanted. However, I would like to shout out Dogged, who is the one who let me know about this. The scamp timers are cut in half during this event. Oh. So instead of the spawn being every 5 minutes, it's every 2.5 minutes.
Nice.
I actually saw it. on Twitter, I think, like when in one of you guys' correspondences, that I saw the 2.5 timer, and I was like, didn't we discuss that it was 5 minutes a few episodes back?
We did. And that was one. Then I was made aware. I'm like, oh my God. And oh boy, is that true. We've got a really good lockdown of the route in the Epinard Pact Zone if you can have 2 people or more, ideally 2, so that you can just monitor the 2 rooms and not nuke the scamp so fast not everybody can get it. But I believe I got 132 scamps done.
What?
Yeah. So you need 100 of each, and I have 97 of the Trove scamps out of 100 now, and I have I think it's either 68 or 72, somewhere around there, of the cunning scamps, which we seem to get way less frequently. But to your previous comment from either last week or the week before, yes, and the Trove ones just really they're just throwing stuff everywhere. But yeah, based on that comment you had made before, do I have those achievements? Well, I'm right there now. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow I can finish that because I really have liked this event. It just makes it so much faster. Although Hazard and I have started to go delirious from farming so very many scamps. We own the majority of at least any of the servers we go in. EP dominates the sewers and most of the districts. So it's pretty easy. We don't have too many PvP fights. But I'm not going to lie. We have run into Daggerfall a couple times. Literally no sign of AD. I don't think I've seen a single AD person this entire event. But every now and then somebody on DC comes in, and it's usually just one of us staring off into space because we're just staring at the wall where the scamp could potentially spawn. And they're unaware that there are multiple of us down in the sewers, but we're all in different rooms just doing the same exact thing. So the other day, I got jumped by a gank blade who hit me pretty hard. And I was like, oh my God, he did like 50% of my health damage. I was like, oh, so him and I start teeing off on each other. And then just EP just hit him from so many sides. It's just, he's a pile of dust before anything. And I was like, oh, cool. All right, I guess we're done here. And what's more was he kept trying. Like, he kept coming back. And I think at about 0-17, it's just been like, dude, don't keep walking down this end. Because sometimes we weren't even getting hits because just the EP Zerg would just melt him on the way by. I'm like, oh, goodbye, friend. Like, so yeah, I don't understand that method of play. But yeah, mostly it's really not. It's not a big PvP zone for us. It's been very easy to farm those scamps. But yeah, that's what I've been spending the majority of my time on.
Oh, that's it? Just
that's
scamps.
it. It was just
lots of scamps.
That's been the entirety of my week. The scamp thing alone, that was like 6.5 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It's bad. It's bad. It's a great money making technique though. I think I've gotten 20 something Hockey Joe runes, 30ish Kudas. Those things are packed to the rafters with goodies when you kill them.
But my problem is I can't kill them because I don't have enough damage to kill them.
Yeah, that's
I
a problem.
can't either. I saw one of them and I couldn't kill it, and I was like, "Wow, that is disappointing."
That is disappointing.
I even figured you can interrupt them 3 times before they become.
You can, yes. They have predetermined places where you can interrupt them until they're just like, "Nah, son, I'm out," and they just disappear.
So apparently, I can't. I mean, my build is so defensive that I can kill people while blocking, but I can't kill anything. Like, or rather, people can kill themselves while I'm blocking.
Yeah,
but
and
again,
the scamps won't attack you.
I deal 3 damage per my
so
hit.
the scamps won't kill themselves.
Yeah, if they attacked me, I could probably kill them just shield bashing and blocking. My shield bash deals more damage than my heavy attack. I don't know. Sometimes in Battlegrounds, I kill people because, I mean, heavy attack takes time, but every shield bash I deal like 1600 damage, and my execute, if I have enough stamina in Battlegrounds, is just spamming shield bash as fast as possible, just melting someone down, because that's the most damage I can deal. If I have enough stamina to deal like 10 shield bashes, that actually kills someone. That actually kills someone, so it works for me. Anyway, Pixie, what about you?
So, I have also been in Imperial City, but instead of farming scamps, it's just been like get in, sneakily get my tickets before the other alliances see that there's an easy target there, and then get out. So I felt really stupid for never having noticed this, but apparently if you bring up your map, and someone on stream actually told me this, you can see which which alliance controls which district, just like you can on like Greater Cyrodiil. I have no idea how I went this long without knowing that was a thing. But I would just like randomly pick a ladder and see who was there and just hope it was safe. And I always picked wrong because I just always go straight for Elven Gardens. And I'm like, it's always either Elven Gardens or Arboretum that I tend to go for. Because I'm like, Arboretum sounds pretty. Elven Gardens means elves, so that means AD must own it now. And then I go out there and there's EP standing right at the little drop-off point, and then I die very quickly. So now that I can check these things, it's been so much easier. So what would take me like 30 minutes to an hour to get my tickets is now going much, much faster, and then I can move on with my life. That being said, like something I have been really enjoying whenever I do go in there is finding a Zerg and doing the PvE bosses in there. So because I don't PvP much, the PvP portion is just kind of scary to me, but I like the bosses. They're challenging and fun, and they also drop leads at a pretty high rate, and same thing with the gates that will spawn ads sometimes. So I run around and do those if I see a Zerg doing them. The other thing that we did, so last week I talked about how we cleared Vet Frostvault with Lego, Wandering Bard, and Kiz, and we decided to make that our little dungeon prog group. So like you guys have your like static groups that you run with every week, and we kind of decided like that's going to be an easier way to get these hard mode clears is if we run with the same people every week. And we all work really well together and have a whole lot of fun, so it was just kind of like the natural choice at that point. So we threw ourselves at Vet Castle Thorn hard mode. And I didn't realize this because I had forgotten, like before we went in, it was Bard's first time in there at all. And then Kiz hadn't really tried the hard mode except for one like goof around attempt that I had done with him before with a different group. And so we were just kind of like figuring out where to stand with the hard mode and all of that. So next time we go in, it's probably going to be a lot cleaner than it was. But it's just like a whole lot of like what Lotus was saying, just figuring out where your feet need to go because there's just so much stuff on the ground at different points and just kind of making sure we follow the mechanics. Because that one is less, there's no like DPS race in that one or anything like that. It's just don't step in the poop, keep the ads manageable. And that's just the whole fight. But it's just so long that it's so easy to just have that one misstep and die. I have my Necro Res, which is really useful during the Bat Swarm phase, but it's still, like, if I'm out of ulti, and then I need to, like, redo a couple enchants, because switch enchants to be spell damage, but I need to switch them back to regen, because I'm just having massive sustain issues since this last patch, and I feel like that's hurting us a lot, too. So I'm going to fix that this week, also.
Do you know what changed causing the sustain issues this patch? Was the set change?
I don't know. I have no idea, to be completely honest with you. I just noticed that it seems like I'm having to heavy attack a lot more. It could also be entirely in my head, or it could be that like right before the patch hit is whenever I switch my enchants. So it could just be as simple as I need to put my enchants back, and then I'll notice an improvement. But for whatever reason, it just feels like I also switched my Mundus from mage to ritual, so it could also just be I have less magicka. So it's probably just a combination of multiple factors, but I had heard other people saying that sustain was an issue this patch for them too. Right. So I've just got to adjust, and I just haven't taken the time to do it yet, so it's on me really. Other than that, I didn't really do much else this week. Tomorrow, though, we're going back in. We have reformed the Lore Seekers trial progression team, so we lost a few members, like Jibs and Cash have moved on for the most part from ESO, and then we had a couple members who are taking a break, Braun and Mission, so we were down 4 members. So we did some recruiting and pulled in some new people for the progression team, and we are going back in with our first trial tomorrow as a reformed group, and we're just going to wrap up the Craglorn hard modes for those of us who don't already have them. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to see how that goes. But yeah, other than that, like I hadn't played too much other than just doing little things like antiquities here and there.
All right. That seems to be pretty much the like, I mean, since it's whenever there's an event going on that obviously takes precedence over other activities. Right. I've been mostly doing not Battlegrounds, but Imperial City as well. Mainly because, so I learned that I didn't know this. So you know those Cyrodiil merits, right?
Yes.
That you can only get 1 per day. Mm-hmm. And normally outside of this event, I think they are not easy to get every day. Like, it's not 100% chance. I'm not entirely sure, though. I might be wrong. Because I never really focused on them. I may have even sold some of them to the NPCs, not realizing what they were.
Woof. I think it's you get 1 every day if you do it. I'm pretty sure, but I've never really aimed to collect them. I just noticed they pop up, and I can only get the quest once a day. So I assumed that like it's 100% chance when you can actually do the quest.
Right. Okay. So I realized you actually get some cool stuff from it, and I'm not sure if they are sellable, like if they make money. The stuff you get, the rune boxes, the helmet and the costume, whatever. But SD brought it to my attention that what I could do is just do every 6 Imperial City quests, get the coffer boxes, and don't open them. Just open them the other day and the other day and the other day. That way, you can just, even when you don't do PvP or don't do a daily, whatever, you can just open the box and get your Cyrodiilic merit for the day. So I've been actually, doing the Imperial City dailies. And this time I'm doing them for the event tickets as well. Normally I don't care about event tickets. Motifs are, like, you can generally find them because the event take goes on for a long time. They really quickly become saturated and their prices drop, so you can actually just buy them or get them from a friend or whatever. And I really don't like Indrix. But this time, the event furnishing is once again the Imperial style furnishing. So there's only 2 ways to get Imperial style furnishing in the game. One, if you pay crowns, like 50 crowns for a wardrobe, 20 crowns for a nightstand, whatever, or you get them at tickets during the events. And my Lynchal Grand Manor needs those furnitures, and I'm not gonna pay crowns for it. So I've been actually doing the event as much as I can this time, buying wardrobes, dividers, whatever, things like that. So this time, I've been actually spending time on that. My favorite part about Imperial City is slowly becoming the fact that those people who attack you no matter what and still die. Every now and then there are the PvP professionals that you realize they don't die. They're very good. They don't die. They can't kill me again most of the time unless they are crowded, but 5 of us just hammering on one person and he's slowly picking us off one by one, and I'm like, okay, that guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But every now and then I would get this random person just attacking me. I would stand still at first. I generally just give it a second to see if they if they're just like attacking out of caution or really want to fight. So I just give it a second, and if they still attacking, I return attack, and they melt very quickly, even with my like very low damage. So I stop again. Okay, I'm like, if you wanna go, go. They keep attacking, and I'm like, they're not full champion point. They're not champion point 1080. 810. And this is no champion point campaign as well. So it doesn't really matter, but like they haven't played the game to its max yet, either way. So I'm like, I stop again, and they keep attacking. I turn around, start attacking, their health suddenly drops, and I'm like, I stop, because I'm like, okay, guess they are not PvP build, considering the fact that they just melted with my no damage whatsoever. And they just keep attacking, and I kill them, and I get like 1,000 Telvars. Alliance points, 1,000 Telvars. I'm like, why would you do that? There are no single quest in Imperial City Dailies, the event, that involves killing other players. I gave you 3 chances to just return and go away. Why would you do this? Is it Alliance pride? I don't know.
Dude, it's the same situation that I was saying about Battleground. You just gotta get that kill. Yeah. That's all that matters. But that's the thing. He deals less damage to me. Like, he deals less damage to me attacking than he takes damage back while I'm blocking. Like, I'm not even attacking them, and they deal like 2k damage, for example, while I'm blocking, while they take 3k damage while I'm blocking. It's right, but see, you're looking at it from a numbers perspective. You're not looking at it from the perspective as, I can't pay attention to my own stats. I see his health bar going down. I just need to hit it harder. That'll get him. So
yeah, that's becoming my favorite thing. Easy Telvar, obviously. Who doesn't want some easy Telvars?
Right.
Easy kills. That's also nice. And every now and then I actually find these like good players and PvP. It takes, because I am tanky, but don't have damage. They have damage, but they're not tanky. So we start dancing like for a few minutes, and eventually what happens is if the both builds turn out to be tanky enough that we can't kill each other, it's just after a while we just take a step back. One of us would cheat their weapons and be like, let's not waste time and just run in opposite directions instead.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on with our lives.
Yeah, because this is not ending. Other than that, what I've been doing, I've been also doing a lot of Battlegrounds. I'm trying to do at least 4 characters every day to get my shield, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, yeah, no, not good. Actually, for the last couple of, ever since the patch, I hadn't gotten a single motif. And I've done a bunch of Battlegrounds, okay? Any motif, not my shield. I'm not talking about my shield. None of the motifs dropped for the last couple of weeks since the patch. Nothing dropped. The most common ones I've already finished anyway, so I understand that they're not dropping. But I used to get at least like 1 random motif every couple days. And yesterday I actually got 2 Fanged Worm motifs, 1 belt, 1 axe, back to back, on one character and then the other character. So that led me to believe that something was broken for the past couple of weeks, and it just got fixed or something. I don't know. For some reason.
Oh, that would be unfortunate.
I have no clue, but it felt like that, because not getting any motifs, none whatsoever for 2 weeks, and then suddenly getting 2 motifs back to back, I don't know. But I hope it was broken and is now fixed, because I would like to get more motifs back to back or whatever, at least more, so that eventually maybe I can get that shield. I'm actually quite upset that they still haven't made it so that, the more motifs you get, the higher chance that you will get the rest of them.
That one's an exception.
They did it for 3 motifs, except the one that I really want. So thanks. This RNG model 100% makes a lot of sense. Yeah, technically, it is technically possible that I could do Battlegrounds for the next 10 years on 15 characters, and it is possible that I will never ever get the shield with the current system, because it's not additive, like it's... Yeah, so...
That's my problem with RNG. I'm not going to go down the RNG rant thing that I go on periodically, but it's why RNG as a system is bad. No matter how good you are at something, when the RNG aspect is brought into it, I don't care if it's a 99.9% chance. Some dude is going to just have a perma rain cloud following him around, and he's just never going to see that item. It doesn't matter how many times he does it. Percentages say it will eventually happen, but there's also a chance, because that's what this is about, that it will never happen.
Yeah,
it's
it's probability versus possibility at that point. Yeah, right. I mean, it's probable that he will eventually get it, statistically speaking. It's possible he will never get it. Now, the way they adjusted the other 3 motifs is fine. The more of them you get, the higher chance you will get the rest. Because, like, let's say there are 10 motifs that can drop, and you have a 10% chance to get either one of them. And when you get one of them, you have a higher chance to get the rest. And when there's only one left, it's a 100% chance that you will get it. Like, but not with this one. Every style page has its individual drop rate, and it doesn't matter if you collected everything else. Its RNG stays this. Its drop rate stays the same. And it's possible you will never get it. And because the original drop rate is so low to begin with, it's not only possible that I will never get it, it's sort of probable that I will never get it as well. What is this? I've been trying to get this since June. Since the expansion dropped. Since June's ass. Come on. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to, like, get all the character slots and do PvP all day, every day, Battlegrounds on 15 characters non-stop? Is that the way to get this? That doesn't make any sense. Battlegrounds aren't even that fun. Dang.
Since the dragon, and the game seems to not be wanting to give you what you actually want, if you profess your love for Queen Irene and switch to Aldmeri Dominion, since their thing's the eagle, you'll get your dragon, because then it's like you don't want it anymore.
I see. Well, I don't like the direction this took.
Yeah, that was the worst explanation to decide HyperPixie. I don't like this.
Yep, no, I don't like this.
I feel like this is the only thing you have left to try at this point, because you've been trying since June. You just said that yourself.
I'm not gonna lie.
Go for a different
I
approach.
will rather run naked with the Nordic bath towel than go AD to get that shield to complete my outfit.
How?
I always have the option to do that, which is also the peak point of fashion for Nords.
So here's the thing. If you don't have this shield by the time we do our Extra Life marathon, and we hit our goal to subject you to horrible things, and you end up with, like, I don't know, an AD tune or something horrible like that, and you do Battleground and you get the shield on your first BG as that character, I really, how would you view life at that point, Ark? Because I feel like there would be something really, really just not in the cards for you at that point.
I mean, I have a very solid explanation to that. It is yet another Talmor trick to make me think that I got it because I was Aldmeri Dominion, to give it to me when I was forced into Aldmeri Dominion. And it's gonna be 100% a trick. So I will not falter in my views against the AD. However, I will so never hear the end of it from the community. I might as well at that point just cancel any and all content creation, because whatever I would be doing, there will be our community in chat just mentioning that I got the shield after turning AD. So at that point, I might stop streaming, podcasting, and everything like that.
Retire.
And just retire, I guess.
Yep.
Retire with my shield, you know.
Yep. Just sit in the corner, rocking back and forth with the shield.
Would it make you like the shield less, though?
That's true, because then the memory of earning it would be tainted with just like. You just have to imagine like a bright yellow eagle just scrawling my shield, like bringing it in.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. So there is a new style coming up. The Sovngarde Stalwart, as someone brought it to my attention during Thursday's stream. So it's gonna be with the event, Skyrim related event that will. I guess it's upcoming. It is a very Nordic looking, very nice outfit, man. It's
an
really
outfit
nice.
style, like those gold pages,
Yes.
not a motif, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's an
that's
outfit
what I
style,
meant.
but
Gotcha.
it is so good. It is so good. Except helmet, I am a bit on the fence, but the shoulders, the chest piece, and it's not a style that will go with the Horned Dragon shield. So I will have to look for a different shield. So by the time
Perfect.
I am still trying to get the Horned Dragon shield, but by the time I get it, my outfit will have changed, so I won't need it anymore.
Your shield will be obsolete.
I have a new outfit coming that I'm liking more than my current outfit, and I won't need the Horned Dragon shield for it. So months of farming the Horned Dragon shield, only to never use it because there's now a new, better outfit style. So thanks, Zas. Much appreciated. I love you 100%. Definitely not salty about it or anything like that. Whoever's coming up with these RNGs, I really, really like him. He's doing a good job. Definitely should get a raise, and if I meet him one day, I will 100% buy him a drink, yes.
That was the most heartfelt anything I think I've ever heard.
Yeah. So, what else have I been doing? I've also been doing, finally, the Greymoor storyline, because I've been putting off all this time because I don't have my outfit completed, but Zas forced my hand. Now, we still don't talk about it. We'll probably talk about it in the coming week, sort of like a spoiler cast. But Zas forced my hand to do the Greymoor storyline because they've just announced the name and, the name of the next Elder Scrolls Online DLC, and that is Elder Scrolls Online Markarth. We are
we're going to Markarth.
officially going to Markarth. It's settled. People were already expecting it to happen, but
it makes sense.
yeah, it wasn't certain. It wasn't 100%. So the DLC is official name Markarth, and there will be so the reason I'm doing it, the reason I'm trying to get through Greymoor storyline, and I have to do it in the next 6 days, is because on September 19, 3 p.m. EDT on twitch.tv/Bethesda, there will be the Dark Heart of Skyrim year-end preview stream by Zas. So they will be talking about, how this year went, what happened, things like that. What are their plans for the final quarter of ESO, what events there will be, the calendars and everything like that. But as well as they will be talking about the Elder Scrolls Online's new DLC, Markarth. And I expect there to be, a cinematic trailer for it. So I have to finish Greymoor storyline before that cinematic trailer hits. I actually ended up going through the news section as well with that. So
That's fine. We're blending it together.
Yeah.
So
Blending.
I will say that we've kind of known about Markarth for a while because Rich kind of told us we were going to Markarth in Vegas. So he kind of, I think the crowd bullied him into telling us.
It was strongly hinted.
Yeah. I mean, again, with the story of, it's even if he hadn't, the storyline having a massive reach influence
Which
we kind of knew that Markarth was gonna come, but at the same time, it wasn't. As far as I mean, I didn't realize the Vegas thing, but
so this is
I
the
wasn't
part
expecting
to me
what
that's most exciting is the reach bit. Because the werewolves and the vampires thing, I know that's a lot of people's cup of tea. That's not so much mine. I like the reach threat much, much more. So I hope they really double down on the reach covens and what do you call it? That whole concept that we started with. And they haven't done as much with that as they have with the gothic vampire vibe. So get some Forsworn style stuff going. Yeah, actually, Lego just brought it up in chat. Yeah, the whole Forsworn feel going on.
Actually, what was the original name of the DLC that got changed into Markarth? I'm trying to remember.
I'm actually not gonna lie. I was looking that up in the background, and I cannot find what it was. I feel like it was something like
it's the tip of
dark
my tongue.
or
I'm gonna say something like Darkfall or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bloodfall, Darkfall.
Yeah.
If anyone in chat knows, please do let us know.
I think Greymore is a cool title. Wrath, Dark Heart. People. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. The naming conventions a little bit off the season. I mean, we joked with Finn about that too, with the Castle Thorn and Stone Garden as well.
So Pixie wrote in chat instead of
Dark
telling
Storm.
us. Dark Storm.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing on Twitter. I said it a few times, but then I heard you say, put in chat if you know. I was like, okay, then.
Oh,
yeah.
That's how I
there's a lot of Dark Hearts, Dark Storms. I don't know.
Dark
It's something
Storm makes
dark.
sense. I kind of remember something like that as well. Yeah, Dark Storm.
That sounds kind of right, because I also remember being like, oh, cool, more dark, and we already have Harrow Storm. It's like, we're reusing too many of the same words here.
It was really close to Harrow Storm, so I'm pretty sure it was Dark Storm.
Gray Storm.
My
So there's
cat
actually-
is gray. His name is Storm. That would actually be perfect.
Perfect. Your cat is the next DLC. You've been holding it this whole time.
So there's the actually I don't know what this is called in English, but the star symbol at the end of Elder Scrolls Online Markarth in the article. And if you go down to the bottom, there's an explanation. Why the new name? We just like it better. So
Okay.
I'll allow it.
yeah. So September 19, we'll probably hear and learn a lot more about what the Markarth DLC will be like. Obviously, seeing the city, Markarth City, in Second Era, that's gonna be really nice. Because even in Skyrim in Fourth Era, Markarth is a massive city. It is like very well established compared to some cities of Skyrim, which are more like villages than a city. But Markarth has always been, especially having the Dwemer background.
Oh my god, so
built
gorgeous.
right into the city and things like that. It's a lot bigger, like this massive complex. And Markarth is also a very vertically designed city. So instead of being a horizontal, I'm gonna say level, it's a very vertical city. And Elder Scrolls Online has been really good with their vertical designs, both in Dwemer dungeons, or rather Dwemer delves. Some of the cities like Alinor, they've been really good with the vertical design, which is not easy to do. So I'm really excited how they are gonna portray Markarth in Second Era, having the city already by itself being a vertical city. So I'm really curious how all those are gonna go, and how much land around Markarth we are gonna get. So Markarth is just a city. So what portion of the reach we are actually going to get? That's also another point, because it's a beautiful land.
Something about the reach, though, is like, if you remember in Skyrim, like a lot of it was really hard to traverse because of all the mountains and all the rockiness. So we might actually get a good portion of it. Just a lot of it's going to be blocked off by those mountains. So we can't Skyrim up the side of the mountain like we could in Skyrim. So it's less playable area, so it'll look like it could look like a massive area on the map, but be less playable area and fit more like a Southern Elsewhere or something in size.
That makes sense.
So we might get the entire reach, but it's just because of the rockiness and just the way that place is laid out, it'll be about the same playable area as the other DLCs.
Yeah. I really hope they give us the option to, like, with pathways or whatever, to go up to the top of some of those mountains, because first there are some points of interest there. There's like, if you, on the left side, I don't exactly remember, but if you go up the waterfall, just jump around a bunch, there is like a, was it to Azura that there is a cave dedicated to Azura? I want to say Azura, but I might be, it was one of the Daedric Princes, I don't know. So there are some really, like, Reach is one of the most beautiful regions in Skyrim in terms of the environment, you know, the Fiora and everything like that. So I really hope we can go up to all those mountains and
yeah, I don't
take a bunch of screenshots, basically.
Was it Namira, maybe? Because you have, or maybe Periite is mentioned.
Oh, it might be Periite or Namira. Not Namira.
Namira has...
Namira wasn't Namira in a lighthouse with that priest of Mara, or was it not Namira? Which one was the Daedric Prince of Dreams?
Vermina.
Oh, right,
Vermina.
that one is Vaermina with the priest of Mara.
So Namira has her Daedric quest in Markarth, because that's where you get the bloodied meats thing, where you turn out they're a bunch of cannibals. That starts in the crypts of Markarth. The Azura place you think. Well, I don't know if there's a cave
Azura is in the east with the massive statue.
Her statue is literally in the area that does not exist in the ESO map behind Windhelm to the north.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I want to talk about the map of ESO versus the original maps with someone who knows officially, like someone from Bethesda or Zenimax Online. Who does this? I really want to discuss this because the map is different. But yeah, so
it is. So there was. I'm almost positive it was Lehman Tuttle who made a statement once, not specifically like, oh, this is the correct one or this is the correct one, but making reference to even the world itself is based on being an unreliable narrator, because in real life, having maps that all match each other is really uncommon. Like, they're mostly similar when people do cartography, but they're rarely identical unless, now it's like computer satellite generation. But like, that's what I'm curious on, because there is a chunk like really, really off. Because I remember I was like, the heck? So like, I remember when I was in Skyrim, like Skyrim, as opposed to in game, I walked out back and I was like, oh yeah, the Shrine of Azura is back here. And in ESO, there's a load screen to go to like nothing. It's like, oh,
you just fall into the water if you try to go north of Winter.
Yeah, and it's just like, and this is where Winterhold ends. It's like, very good then.
So Lego said Namira is over there as well, southeast of Markarth. That's probably the one I remember. Yes, southeast of Markarth, behind the waterfall or something like that is. But yeah, basically, I want to go up there and I want to be able to take screenshots. That's
fair.
That's the main idea. But I also really want to talk about the map of ESO with someone who officially knows it, and like I'm just curious about the reasoning behind it. Were they like, let's just do it this way because it fits the game we are planning?
It's just
like our DLCs and whatnot.
That it's a little stretched. Like, it's just kind of like, I forget what episode we dove into this for a while.
Yeah,
but I think it was actually when we found out that is Skyrim for Greymoor. But it's just like the map is just like stretched a little weird, and I wonder if it just had something to do with both games kind of being in production simultaneously. Because they're similar.
Yeah.
But some of the zones that hadn't been completed are a little, I don't know. It's just very interesting to see because it is inconsistent.
So
Basically, Eastmarch in Skyrim map is more inland. Like if imagine it got pushed towards the center of the map from where it is in Elder Scrolls Online. Like the entire Eastmarch just pushed in towards the left of the rift, just pushing rift a little bit towards the side.
Yeah.
And having the Winterhold, the northern Skyrim on top of it. So it's like a little bit of, yeah. So,
the
I don't know.
The thing I can think of hearing this is that one episode of SpongeBob with the Alaskan bullworm where Patrick is like, let's just take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. And I feel like that's what happened. And that explains everything. It was the Alaskan bullworms.
There it is. That's the Nordic. Oh wait, I was gonna say Nordic bullworm, but no, Akaviri bullworm. That's all it has to be. It's right, coming in from the north. Done and done. Solved the problem.
Lego came with an explanation. The Red Mountain made tectonic shifts. Boom, everything explained.
Yep, and I was going to say, Isha mentioned the volcano is blowing up,
Right.
and as I was going to say, was shifting the land. I like this. I like playing Drunk North.
I mean, see, it's possible. So if you look at ESO's map, the Red Mountain is sort of towards the right side of Eastmarch, if you look at it. So so Red Mountain blows up, and that shockwave pushes Eastmarch inland, and we get the map of Skyrim.
Hey, I mean, it's one of the few situations where they can work with the huge time difference, because some of the things, it's like, why does this look so similar 1,000 years later? So there was a lot of complaints about that, like, oh, it looks identical. And then we've got other things where it's like, this piece of the map is off. So the moral of this story is they can't win. Because if it's too similar, we're going to complain. If it's too different, we're going to complain.
Look, that's the fun part of podcasting.
Exactly.
That we get to complain whatever they do. That's how you.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
how you
No
go
matter
for
what it is.
250 episodes, people.
Yep.
Just a bunch of whiners.
Off-base complaints. Now I'm like super interested in all this map theory. We should probably get back to what the hell we were talking about.
That was it.
still
I mean,
happy with
Markarth,
the
mountains, how
Yeah,
much of
that's
the
true.
reach we were gonna get. Not
And
much.
Reachman. Woo.
Or rather, we are gonna get all of it, but all of it is mountains, so we are not gonna be able to go
Yeah,
anywhere.
Technically, you can literally just play in Markarth. The rest of it is all unscalable terrain.
I mean, I will find a way to travel around on top of those mountains. As long as they don't put a freaking invisible wall there, I will be able to traverse it. Because I'm really confident in my abilities in ESO to just jump around and get to places that the game should not let you get up to.
It is so pretty there, though, with all the waterfalls and the juniper trees and all that. It's gorgeous, and I can't wait to go. And then Markarth itself is stunning. I've always said that Solitude is my favorite city in Skyrim, but Markarth is pretty close to Solitude.
Solitude in Elder Scrolls Online is a bit bleak on inside. I do not know what it is. I think the color of the walls is just... It looks like the color of the walls of my room, just like...
Well, so
bland.
it feels to me like this is gonna either come across really like you understand what I'm talking about, or I just absolutely off base, and this is only gonna make sense to me. Not sure which, but it's the difference between like winter right before something like Christmas, and there's like the fresh snow or whatever, and everything kind of has like that bright feel to it. And then when you're in February and it has been winter for 2 months, 3, depending upon when winters decides to start, if it starts earlier and you have a short fall, and everything is just gray and brown and washed out. And it's just like, it feels like it's so cold at that point. It's like draining color out of the air. That's the feel I get when I'm in Solitude. I was like, can it not be winter here anymore? Because it's still friggin' winter.
I mean,
I actually understand what you mean there.
Okay.
I don't, because last time it snowed in my city, it was like 2015, I think, and it was white for just one day. I woke up the next morning and it was gone. It was just gone.
I mean, I didn't live in a snowy area since I was 8. Like right now where I live, I only get about 2 weeks of actual winter.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I understand the feeling. I feel like I get it.
And see, the problem isn't even outside of Solitude, right? If you look outside of Solitude, it's green and snow mixed together. There's the water, there's the sunrise or sunset. It looks like colorful. You go inside Solitude, and everything looks like this just one off-white color. The walls, the things, there's no, I don't know. In Skyrim, the walls,
that'll
in
add some
Skyrim,
reds.
yeah. In Skyrim, the rocks of Solitude's walls are sort of like actual stone rocks. You know, they have a bit of gray, bit of like bluish tints and things like that. You go into Solitude and Elder Scrolls Online, it's just a beige. That's a color in English as well? Is that?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah, it's the entire city is beige, which is bland and boring. Like my room.
So
if I wasn't renting this place, I would just tear down this wallpaper and paint it something contrast. Who designed this room anyway? Hold on, let me
I live in Solitude.
let me just appreciate how much I hate whoever designed this room in real life.
I think
Okay,
that's
you may
what it is.
continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're currently just stuck on the fact like I live in Solitude
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, audio listeners won't understand. But let me switch to my big cameras. Look at the floor. It's sort of beige wood. Look at the wall. It's sort of beige wallpaper.
Yeah, why is your
white rug?
Oh yeah, no, that's terrible.
It's like
You get a better rug.
ceiling,
Or a rug.
floor, and the walls are all almost the same color beige, and it's like, who came up with this idea? And this is the living room. Like, who came up with making the living
that's a
room the
little
least
too
lively
bland.
place possible?
I'm going to send you a Pinterest board if you remind me after the show that will just change the way you look at your room. Because, like, I'm going to have gray floors in my new place. So I've been looking at ways. There was this whole just thing where I wanted tan floors, and my boyfriend wanted gray floors, and we had a vote, and my son voted for the gray floors, so we get gray floors now. Because of a 6-year-old's tiebreaker. But anyway, if you get like certain rugs, you can break up the gray, and then also like bringing in like plants and stuff, it can completely change. Like I got you.
Exactly. So there's actually a carpet there. That is, I've been lazy and haven't.
Oh, okay. There it is.
It's a black carpet. It's just like maybe one tone lighter than being pure black. So I'm gonna put it. It's gonna cover most of the middle area.
That's more gray. That's
No,
just deep
black. It's pure contrast. It's heavy contrast.
Is
And
it a
then-
gray or is it a deep gray?
No, it's
One
black.
drop of black makes it gray.
No, it'll be fine. I thought about it. And then obviously I have like the painting and whatnot behind me, but I need like massive tapestries, like wall-to-wall tapestries to just hang. And as you said, plants, but I've also been lazy about going out and getting plants, so...
I've been watching way too much HGTV. I got you. We will flip your apart.
I like that. I'll just like record the room, 360, do a 360.
Yes.
Record the
all
room,
right.
and we'll figure something out. But my room feels like solitude.
In a couple weeks, the video watchers are going to see your room transform if you take my advice.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I will probably take your advice. Just will I actually not be lazy about it and go out and get things? Because another thing is, because I'm sleeping during the day, everywhere is closed while I'm awake, and everywhere is open while I'm, well, sleeping, so I can't do any shopping or anything like that for a while. I need to figure something out. That's the reason I haven't been able to put that thing either, because I want to like vacuum it after I put it, but I'm awake in the middle of the night and sleeping during the day, so I can't run a vacuum machine because of neighbors. So I don't know. I guess I'll just have to not sleep for 24 hours and do everything I need to do.
Perfect.
So to underail a little bit, I remember what I was going to say about Solitude. If you go into Solitude at night, because you have the flame lights and all of that, it brings like that warmth to the gray a little bit, like in the city proper. And like if you look up, you see the lights and everything, and it's just really pretty then. So Solitude at night is super impressive. And then right outside of Solitude at like dawn and dusk, whenever you see like the sun rising and setting and the big archway, that's gorgeous.
That's, yeah. Every time I pass through there, I just can't resist taking screenshots. It's every single time. I'm like, oh, look how beautiful is it? I take a screenshot. I probably have the same screenshots like 15 different times.
I was going to say just
same
the same
angle,
screenshot.
same
every
time,
time
same
you're just
everything.
mesmerized by the same thing.
Yeah, every time I'm like, oh, look how beautiful. I must take a screenshot. I spend 15 minutes every time. Isha says 24-hour Ark stream confirmed. If I stream for a whole 24 hours, I will end up not doing anything again, Isha. And I can't go shopping
just room
and
construction. 24. You just turn on your camera and you just do room construction, and it's just non-stop. You rearranging. There it is. Perfect stream.
HGTV Arkhaniir edition.
Exactly.
I wish real life decorating was as intricate and as easy as it's in Elder Scrolls Online. It's just
Tales of home decor.
All right, well, that's actually the end of our show, which is in comparison.
Wow.
Just over
downright
an hour.
condensed.
Yeah, just over an hour. I mean, it's after 3 p.m. Actually, the next show will be right after the Dark Heart of Skyrim year-end preview.
Yeah.
So assume it's gonna go for like 2 hours, right? It's gonna be 5-6 hours after the year-end preview. So that's gonna give us time to, if we all have time to watch it and absorb, digest it, and then talk about it for 7 hours. We can also. So Lotus, have you completed your Greymore storyline?
So
why did Pixie? Okay, I'm like not looking at chat, and I can see Pixie. Okay, that's because of going crazy. I am pretty sure Jude Gob friends. That's tribute to last week.
There it is.
Because I wasn't looking at chat, and I saw Pixie just going into a giggle fit, and I was like, okay, something happened in chat.
I was trying to be subtle. I was trying to be quiet. I was over.
Perfect. Back to the GIF comments. What was I? Oh, did I finish Greymore? Right. No, I'm still working on it. I've dove into it now officially because, man, over the last week, it suddenly felt very much like fall. So normally this is where I'd start getting my Skyrim vibes, but now I have Skyrim vibes in ESO. So I'm like, bring it on. Let's do this now. Granted, I had mentioned I did have the stories, at least the overview of what happens to the main story spoiled. So I actually know how it ends. I've kind of forgotten some of it, which is a plus, but I have the main bullet points. But I'm kind of going into that after the Imperial City event ends. I feel like I'm gonna kind of just like dive into that and finish that off because I want to be ready for finishing out this season along with everything. So
okay, but here's the thing: if you wait until the Imperial City event ending to finish Greymore storyline, you are not gonna make it to the next week.
Wait, doesn't the event end Monday?
Oh, does it? Wait,
I think so.
Right, we are September 13. Oh my god, we are halfway through September.
I was going to say, I think the event...
Apparently it's Tuesday. So you only
sense.
have until Monday, Lotus.
Yeah, well, to be fair...
You said Monday. The end of story.
Make the game give me my scamps, and I'll be done with it tomorrow. That's all I want. Just give me my last scamps, and I'll peace out of Imperial City, and then all those lesser alliances can go in and roam around.
Get your, if you don't sleep after the show, you can roll into the Imperial City while everyone is sleeping and get your scams just until the morning,
All right, so give up sleep, farm scamps. Got it.
And then play Arena tomorrow instead.
And then play Arena while deliriously sleep deprived.
That sounds amazing. That is good television.
Are you actually going to stream Arena tomorrow?
So to be fair, I would kind of like to. So it is on the docket. I do plan on streaming tomorrow. So I'll have to see. As football season came back, I need to run. As if 2 monitors wasn't enough, now I need 2 monitors and a TV so I can watch football, play games, and stream all at the same time and have any semblance of coherent conversation, which don't hold your breath.
I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm curious how that's going to go.
So if I can pull all that off, yes, the goal would be to finish my scamps and stream some Arena because I didn't get to play.
All right. Sounds good, because then you should finish Greymore's storyline.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've moved on from the what was it? The big ass monk. Oh no, big ass diamond and the potato monks and the big ass diamond. That's what it was.
Yeah, potato monks and the quest of the big ass diamond.
There it is. I was gonna say I haven't been able to play since that happened. So.
Oh, so Lego in chat brought up, he said, well, at least you won't be doing a fantasy draft while playing Lotus. I forgot to mention during my Tales, we were doing Vet Castlethorn hard mode while Lego, our tank, was doing his fantasy draft picks.
Oof. What is fantasy draft?
So if you're playing fantasy football, you're basically drafting teams of players to make like your own best all-star team to go against other people, and it calculates percentages and or points based on it's kind of like a game within a game.
For years I've heard this term, never actually questioned what it is. What the hell is fantasy football?
And you thought the show was over. Okay. So fantasy football, there's different ways to do the points, but what you do is you set up a bunch of people to manage an imaginary team. And you have all the players available in the NFL. And
is this a video game? What is?
No, it's think of Dungeons and Dragons, but with sports.
Okay.
So you take the real life players, and you have to draft a team. Now, granted, you don't need to take every single player. You pick the positions that you're going to be playing with. They're designated points on how they do in real life. So instead of dice rolling, it's based on their actual performance in games.
Okay.
But the players you have are across the entire league. So if one team does really well, but the player you have from that team for your made-up team does crap, that's bad. So it's an amalgamation of all the players you make, and you try to have the best team out of individual performance.
How is it? Who?
So you
how does a match happen?
So what you'll do is everybody in your league, we have 10 teams in my fantasy league. What you do is you are matched up like, oh, Lotus is going to play Rick this week or whatever. And it's just, it calculates and just picks so that you have to play everybody. Mm-hmm. And your starting lineup of players, which is your team, is against his starting lineup of players. And the idea is whoever's individual players perform the best as the group you've drafted goes up against his. Whoever has the highest points at the end wins the match. That's how it works.
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
That was very irrelevant, but
it's shockingly, but it is. It's several people seem to like the fact that it's D&D football, but it really is. It's.
I mean, the fact that the fact that you said football and then mentioned NFL already was the wrong thing to do anyway for the rest of the world. That is not
Correct.
America. So
Yes, correct. That is not incorrect in any way. But yes, what is it? American football, or I believe gridiron, if we're in Australia for our
gridiron.
I believe that's what it's called. So yeah, that's the idea to fantasy football, and yeah, I love football, but I'm really kind of questioning how long the season's going to last, because normally you have to sub people in if they get hurt. This year, I think it's going to which team is going to still be alive, not everybody on injury reserve because they have COVID, because they're bumping into each other and there's no social distancing and you can't wear masks while doing this, and somebody's going to get it and they're going to spread it to everybody and the league's going to shut down and the season's going to end.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Oof. So I don't think this season will go too well. I think they will need to stop it, because unlike some of the other sports that have been able to control it a bit, as somebody who played football for many years, I don't know how this is going to go. And there is your Tales of Tamriel.
Yeah, the
condensed version of what fantasy football is.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad you explained, because I was curious, like, rather
what it is.
Because the term comes up a lot, and I guess it's quite common that people play fantasy football.
It is. It can be pretty fun. Yeah, it can be fun. And to be fair, the fact that it's based on just individual players, and when you account for injuries and you know, in the NFL, there's a lot of people who just wide receivers are prone to be drama queens and do stupid crap and get suspended. So sometimes you can do really well even if you don't know what you're doing, because somebody who drafted some all-star players, 3 of them get suspended, one guy breaks his face, and another person like separates his shoulder, and it's like suddenly they have nobody of value left, and your random picks are like, oh, well, I mean, whatever. And then sometimes people can just have a great year, and some guy that nobody cared about scores you 100 billion points, and you end up winning out and stuff like that. So they should
just make a video game of this, like Football Manager or something.
Yeah, to be, you could.
There is big money to be made here. Okay.
Ark, I figured out what your first game's gonna be.
Oh no, I hate I don't like football or soccer or American football or whatever you want to call it. It's either of them.
It's fine. You'll just code what I tell you. I'll explain it. You'll code it. Something happens in between. Profit. That's really
we are
where
just
we're
gonna
going
somehow
with it.
connect it to the a sports network's RSS feed to get all the like who's injured, who's doing what data, and just feed it into the game, and there you go.
So for one of his college projects, Baker actually made a fantasy football draft assist program.
There you go.
So like ingested all that data. So I know a guy.
Perfect.
We are about to be millionaire.
Yep. Probably shouldn't release an episode with our $1 million idea to literally anybody who could just do it better or faster or more efficiently than any
technical
of us.
difficulties. My recording is
losing everybody.
deleting itself. Oh no. This will be edited out. Nah.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm not gonna sit down and make a football game. No. I don't care if someone else does it and becomes a millionaire.
Damn it. My millionaire idea ruined. But,
all right, well,
so there you go. Now it's a full show. I hope you.
Yeah, now it's an hour and a half show.
Yeah, perfect.
We talked about completely irrelevant topics to get over that 1 hour,
Yep. I was gonna
mark.
say, For anybody who doesn't like sports, my apologies. For everybody who does like sports, welcome to Sports Talk.
I mean, the good thing is we did it at the very end of the show, just before the outro. So we actually got the actual show out of the way before we did Derail. So
yeah, we didn't jam this in the middle to ruin it for people
I should
who
start a
don't
new
care
RSS feed, like just random DCN talks or something like
random
that.
thoughts.
Yes, and just talk random stuff. That could be a thing in the future.
Perfect.
We don't know.
Another $1 million idea.
Hell
Up to
yeah.
$2 million.
Just chatting streams. We just all hang out and just talk about all the random shit that comes to mind.
Perfect.
We had
Yeah, I mean, could be.
We had fantasy football. We just talk about everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Well, Lotus, where can people find you?
I am LotusOfDoom on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, in-game, and hopefully by next show, we can announce when we plan to do our Extra Life thing. I'm kind of trying to iron out when I have a chunk of time to do it, and we can talk and see if there's some way we can iron it out that we can all group up and do some type of marathon goodness for that event. So hopefully I'll have more information for everybody next time in that regard.
Sounds good. Pixie.
You can find me on Twitch at HyperPixie Gaming and on Twitter at HyperPixie Games because of character limit.
Yep. Well, you can find me anywhere that is Arkhaniir, ARKHANIIR. I'm on Twitter. But you can also follow everything we do over here at Dungeon Crawler Network at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Discord. And, well, all of our Twitter accounts because we run multiple. And there's actually now those links because all the time I've been saying this, they were under like the articles and things like that, never an obvious button. So now there's actually a button that's called socials, which directs you to all of our socials. If you want to support us, you can do so over at Patreon, at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork. It's the most cost-efficient way of doing it because on Twitch, Amazon takes a huge chunk. On Patreon, not so much. But Twitch is also one way to do it, and you do get to rock the emotes, sub badges, and things like that. Or tell a friend about us. Bring your friends and family into the show, and that will also increase grow our community bigger and help us reach to more people. That said, you can leave us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes it matters, and we will read it on the show at the beginning. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we will see you all next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magicka fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the